Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview review show for the Adventures of Thoria, brought to you by the Black Tower Stories. I'm your host, Jace. And with me today, a tranquil monk and born-again sailor whose green thumb hunk in need of a tailor, dishing out blows in the plants that he grows. He's a martial arts healer and a good time dealer. His spellcasting is junk, but he's a great player. Though our name stinks like a skunk, it's got great flavor. A good guy who knows and skill really shows that he can be a great teacher and respectable leader. Now representing Arthur from the S&M party, my longtime friend, the Immaculate Ari. I stumbled across a lot of those. Dear God. That was awful.
I don't.
There were some backhanded statements.
There was some very backhanded statements in that, and I'm going to let that slide for now. But we're going to have to revisit that. We're going to have to talk about that.
I will point out that for the majority, all of your intros are very nice and positive, and I usually insult everyone else in theirs. So I figured I'd give you one.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that for now. I think, again, we'll still have to revisit this, my friend. But I was like, wait, wow. I don't know if I should be smiling or be offended.
A little for both.
A little bit of both.
Oh, thank you for showing up. I'm glad you're here. It was a bit sketchy near getting closer to that deadline, but
yeah.
If people don't know, North Texas is very cold, and our electrical system sucks. But
it's on the news.
Yeah, we're a big deal down here. Luckily, it got turned on just in time, so we didn't have to go with the backup plan, who's in Alabama right now. But thank you.
No problem.
We got a question lined up for someone who's not you, so we're not going to bring that one up. Although it would be kind of awkward if I just asked you why you didn't pick a spell that you can't get.
I can't get it. So it's just not on my list. Arthur probably wouldn't be able to read the spell to even try learning how to do it. So there's a good chance whatever spell it is, if it doesn't come innately, Arthur's probably not going to learn it anyway. So maybe that's the answer to your question. I don't know what the question is.
Let's kind of delve into that. If Arthur could use the spell Sending, who's the first person he sends a spell to? And what is his 25 or word less sending spell he sends to them? I'll give you a moment to think about that as I look through chat and welcome everybody in here. We got myself. Oh, Eric's there. Old Rab's there. He's got a question for us again. That's great. Do you have any thought processes on what you could possibly pick?
Yeah, you know what? I would probably send a message to either Denny or Captain Silverleaf. The message would comprise of me telling them whatever location I'm at and telling them to get me the hell out of here. So it'll probably be like, hey, we're at a port city and I made a mistake. I need you to come get me. Arthur. This is the city.
Hey, you got it in one word from what I can count. So I'm gonna say
it would be the name of the city. That would be the last word.
Yeah, there you go. Eric in the chat is, of course I'm here. I'm not Gander. I get Aaron doesn't watch the show.
Wait, but isn't Gander here?
I don't see it. If he's not gonna make a comment, I don't know if he's here.
Okay, well we'll leave it at that. I don't know if you, but stick up for yourself, Gander, if you're here.
In honor of our green-thumbed drunk, the Druid monk, the special today is veggie burgers. Not sorry for how it tastes, because it's veggie burgers. And there is something different.
Okay.
Do you notice what the difference is, Ari?
Okay, give me 1 second, because the screen is incredibly small.
So you got
the poster in the back has not changed. Azal's doll is still there. The chest is there. The sweet nut milk is there. The menu obviously did change, but you did not change the no electrum.
You
have a new coat hanger in the back.
Coat rack is new. It is an actual coat rack that I poorly edited around. It's not. At least it's not my shitty one. But yeah, already got it.
Hey.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
observant. Well, I don't have the feet observant, but I am
observant.
Yet. Well, I have to listen. I haven't even hit my ASI for any of my characters yet. So, like, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Do I just keep going in the monk? Do I keep
Multi-class. What's another? You can go cleric. Get a cleric level in there, so you could really water down that pool. Wisdom's all you need.
Oh yeah, I can definitely do that.
And ranger. You go ranger. Just take classes and never get an ASI.
Yeah, just continuously.
Just
Eric
3 levels, 3 levels.
I don't know if
Eric
levels, would like that. I think Eric would hate that because there's no real way of planning around that.
Nature cleric. So you got cleric down. Swarm ranger.
Cleric.
I'm just saying.
I already have a nature cleric.
Saying to mix it with a druid monk kind of thing. You want to be
kind of
peaceful.
That'd be kind of cool. We'll think about it. I haven't made my decision yet.
12 levels right there of just not taking ASIs.
But I get a lot of cool stuff along the way, though. You get a lot of cool stuff along the way. It just takes a long time for all that stuff to build up.
You'd have a lot of interesting abilities.
Absolutely.
And then you'd have a 12th level barbarian in the party who's immune to death.
Yeah, we hope so. I need you to be immune to a lot of stuff.
Bricks would be a good thing to be immune to. I'm pretty vulnerable to those. Giant boulders being thrown at me when I can't see them.
Okay, yeah.
Giants off screen.
By the way, we haven't had a chance. We never got a chance to talk about those boulders.
That was a nice boulder as it came careening towards my face.
That was a fantastic add-on to that episode of the campaign, and definitely took me by surprise. And everybody who got hit by the boulder by surprise, I genuinely didn't think we were going to make it past that fight. So I'm glad that we are on episode 31, because I think that would have stopped us at episode?
It was in 20? The 20s. Yeah, it was early 20s.
Something. So yes, Arthur is happy that people are still alive.
It hit me, and then it hit Vorid. Both of those are not good.
I mean, well, yeah, you didn't have any rage on, so yeah, that definitely was not good. But you have the most health.
I took all that ball right to the face. Just.
You have the most health until I wild shape.
Yes, and then it depends on what you wild shape into. That's a question. Let's go into wild shapes. What is the highest HP wild shape you can turn into?
Highest HP wild shape that I can turn into at this point in time.
Yes, you have access to your character sheet, I'm assuming.
Yeah, is a brown bear.
A brown bear. What's the HP of brown bear?
HP is 34.
34, and your current
Correct.
HP is?
My current HP?
Yes.
35. So that would put me at 69.
Nice. You would have more HP than me. That is correct. But barely.
Yeah, brown bear is the
tanky,
heftiest, tanky thing that I could do at this point in time.
Thick bear.
Boy, I have to get 3 more levels in Druid before I move into the next CR. Which then opens up a world of possibilities. But we'll get there. I did pick the Circle of the Moon Druid, which allows me to transform or wild shape into higher CRs than most other druids. So I am looking forward to that. We'll see when we get there.
Won't be able to fly or swim for a while, but
it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. I mean, Arthur can. Okay, so here's the deal. Arthur doesn't have a swim speed, but I am under the assumption that Arthur can actually swim. He's lived on a boat for a long period of time, and there's no way in the world that you would be on a boat.
What if Arthur can't swim, and he's just really good at avoiding it?
Listen, Arthur already can't read. I am not going to put another handicap on Arthur because I said something stupid. No, I'm going to assume that Arthur can swim at this point in time. We just have not challenged that.
Illiterate and dense. Great.
Shut up.
Izal can swim. Izal's got a great swim speed.
You almost caught up to me in speed now, which I'm incredibly excited for you.
Yeah, I've never played a fast dwarf, that's for sure. No matter how hard I try.
Eventually I will take, Long Stride?
Long Stride is spell. There's the mobile feat. It's a good one, too.
You know what? Again, I have not got to a place where I can do another feat.
Not for 12 more levels, you won't.
Probably should stick with the spell while I can.
That's for 8 hours or an hour? I haven't used that since last campaign.
An hour, I think.
Speaking of the current campaign we're on, and wild shaping and such. What
Mhm.
are some of the current things you can wild shape based off of what you've seen? Have we seen an otter? I think that was a panic button where you weren't thinking.
That was the first and inaugural wild shape. I had to throw that in there for Momod because I know that I gave him a whole bunch of shit for not liking otters and having lutriophobia. But if you would like, I do have my list of things that I have seen.
Top
There
five.
are some. There are the top 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
Unless there's only 4.
No, I have more than that. There's a lot of just random common stuff. But my favorite things, my top 5 favorite things at this point in time, is going to be the squirrel because I kind of mess with Roscoe. Roscoe's like my boy, so being able to communicate with him is pretty cool. I did find out that I could change into a mountain goat. That's a good one. Riding horse is something that's capable. I've seen a horse and all that before. And then the brown bear is just a good one. It's just a good one. And then I also have like a dog and a cat. So I would say those are probably my top 5.
What type of dog would you change into?
Replace the dog and the cat with the sheep. I'm gonna say the sheep is probably top 5 right now.
Top 5. Sheep. So sheep and ram both made your top 5.
I don't. Goat.
Goat.
And a sheep. So yes.
Goat's like a ram.
I like
rams.
Like fainting goats are literally one of my favorite animals to like just be around or just see. So when I saw mountain goat, I was like, yes, please, yes, all of this.
Careful with that though. Eric might say, "Oh, roll me a wisdom saving throw." Oh, you're paralyzed now for a round.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad at that. Like if he said just rolled a random wisdom saving throw while I'm wild shaped into a mountain goat to see if I paralyze or freeze myself, I would honestly be okay with that. Once. And then I will never wild shape into a mountain goat ever again.
Off the list.
It's immediately removed. Immediately gone.
Well, this is a massive handicap. Fuck that. If I wanted to be paralyzed on land, I'd be a fish.
They don't really sufficiently do anything either. So like when you click on like a mountain goat, it has a climb speed. That's probably the most beneficial thing that it does. But sure-footed. And then it has charge, but the damage is only 1d6. So, like, honestly, it's not beneficial at all for me to change into a mountain goat. But just to have it, just in case, you never know. You might need to blend in.
Get that CR2, you get a nice murder cow like I have.
Yeah, good old murder.
Careful, she's very mean.
That's 3 levels from now.
She might not like you.
Well, that's 3 levels in Druid. We don't know how long in levels it's going to take.
Level 18, here we go. Do your multi-class, use that one ASI to bump up your strength so you can multi-class to fighter or something. You might be able to go into fighter. I don't know what the prerequisite for fighter is. You might.
Oh, I do not know.
Get some fighter in there. Oh, hell yeah. It's take all day to get out of this. Con score, strength.
I would never be able to be a wizard at any point in time.
You can't fucking read.
Charisma based. Who's charisma based?
Bard, sorcerer.
Oh, never. I would never be a bard or a sorcerer.
Yeah. I dumped my charisma so I couldn't multi-class into warlock. If I have the opportunity, I would. I would like have to handicap that. It's like, ooh, how can I get some warlock into this character? It's like, no, stop it. 8 charisma.
No.
You gonna spend 3 ASIs on this? No.
Honestly, that was my reasoning behind the intelligence dump too, because I have a tendency to multi-class into wizard.
How do I get some wizard into this?
How can I make this person some part wizard at some point or another?
First step, dump intelligence. Second step, become illiterate.
Can't read a book, can't learn spells as a wizard. There you go.
Is that Elvish your first language?
Yes.
Yeah, so Common's your second.
So my mom used to speak to me in Elvish prior to me learning and going to school, and then I just never really learned Common. It was Elvish as a first language. CSL is what we refer it to. Common as second language.
We have a question finally we'll get to from old Rabbi Rabjorn. Question for both. How do you think this jailbreak will go? Violent.
I am hoping we don't have to resort to violence, but the way that our party is built, it's just not going to happen. Like, I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to get into the jail cell. We're going to sufficiently break the guy out, and then someone is going to do something incredibly stupid on the way out of the jail cell that raises the alarm, and we have to fight our way out. And then we actually have to fight out everybody that's available in this jail cell, which is going to be incredibly stressful.
Massive prison break, free all the prisoners.
Honestly, and I'm not even gonna lie, that was my contingency plan. Like, as a player, I'm like, okay, if we get stuck and we have to fight, I'm going to whatever level I can. I'm wild shaping into whatever level I can down, and then just breaking as many prisoners out. And then we're just gonna have to deal with that. Just mass chaos. Can't do that now because
who is the one to fuck up? That is the question here. Who, like, rank them, like first, second, third.
I can't
cause this issue.
We already know Gorbek is literally just off the. I'm just taking him off the table. Okay. We're not even going to talk about Gorbek. We're just going to take him off the table.
Default wild card already.
Default wild card. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know if he's going to be quiet. We don't know if he's just going to be loud. We just don't know.
I think we've determined that quiet's not much of an option.
Honestly, the first person I think that will do something crazy outside of Gorbek is Izal. I genuinely think the idea of just causing chaos or fighting something is going to be too enthralling for Izal to turn away. Like, we're going to get halfway through the breakout and you're going to be like, damn, I didn't fight anything. Turn around and fuck something up. So Izal would be my number one person to fuck something up. The next one would be Gander, just off of the premise of him doing something that he didn't realize that he did. So he'll throw his turret out there somewhere, shoot something, and not realize that it makes such a loud ass noise, and then cause all the attention to be there on the rest of us. And then Arthur would be the third person. Just because Arthur runs into shit for no fucking reason and just decides to do it because he's like, I need to either save people or I need to make sure that these people that are in there get out. And so there's a very good and likely chance that Arthur's going to do something to fuck that whole breakup. Then Calum.
Eric just commented about Calum. Like, you're underestimating Calum's ability to aggro unknown mobs.
No, listen, Calum stands in a corner 30 feet away from the battle, and all of a sudden there's a mob there. So, like, I can understand that, but I think that's more on the DM than it is on Calum. So, not Calum's fault, but definitely the DM's fault on that one. And then Red would be the last person that I would say would cause any commotion, only because of the pure theory that he would probably go back through the tunnel and find all of the Azure Leaf that I set down and smoke it. So he would not want to do anything of any kind of annoyance. He'd be really quiet and just be like, yeah.
We travel back, we start finding a trail of passed out badgers and moles that have just eaten it, like, all drugged up and just passed out. Like, well, I guess we'll follow them.
Oh, we know where to go, at least, yeah.
So, whoa. Not my fault when they're already on the map. Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, just given the actions in the last episode, I think Gorbek would definitely be top of the list, but who knows? He kind of quieted down at the end of the episode, so I don't know if he's soaked into like a little ball right now because Izal and Calum hit him, which was unexpected. So we'll see. I don't know. He's a wild card for me right now.
I'm just excited to be included in the party. I'm like, hey, cool, I got voted for something. I never get voted for things.
Oh, no. I definitely think you would be the next person to be the wild card.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt in my mind, I think you genuinely... Because you almost provoked Gorbek into doing something if he wasn't going to do it himself anyway. So, like...
What I do, I don't remember.
Was it breaking something in the ruin?
He said floor?
He was going to... Yeah, he said he was going to take something. I think he was going to take that gem, and he asked about taking that gem or breaking something, and you were like, I would have done it anyway.
Oh, I was going to. That's true. I was going to fuck up that floor and take all those gems.
You said that out loud.
Because
So
y'all were yelling at him. It's like, I point out, I was gonna do the same thing.
yeah. So like that in my mind tells me that Izal is, though you are sneaky about it, you would be the next person to cause up some shit.
There's that Zella part is like, you're a bit chaotic, but you're not entirely stupid. But man, if the opportunity comes up and you think you can get away with it, how can I do something funny?
I would say you're rambunctious.
Oh yeah, well, I did. I pranked someone last episode. What did I do? I don't remember.
I mean, there's a list of things that you're starting to acquire here. You caused an enemy in the last place that we were. Like you spreaded some rumors about them, and now you have this one person that randomly hates you.
Yeah.
Who did you prank?
Oh, it was. I knocked on the gray merchant when we went into to sell the tapestry. I was like, tax collector or something. I walked in.
Yeah.
It's a light prank. It's so funny. I've done a few things.
Yeah, so Izal has a propensity for chaos as well. Just not as much as Gourmet.
Mine's more calculated. It's like, this isn't gonna hurt anybody. Let me do something stupid. Although this is the second campaign in a row that I have been fleeced out of at least 10 gold for no fucking reason.
What do you mean, no reason? It's the Undercity. You help some random person who's posing. We don't even know if that was an old person. We don't even know if that was a grandma. They could have been shape shifted. They could
her days were numbered.
Yours is just running out.
It's like, our fucking luck is gone. It's like, last campaign, a seagull stole my glasses. Yeah. And then this old lady stole from me. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm tired of being nice. I'm going to be an asshole next character.
No. Okay, next character. Please, next character.
Or this character. Something goes wrong. It's like, that's it.
I'm not going to lie. I want a campaign where we're all just evil. Like, I want to do the opposite side of the spectrum. I want to see what that would play out like. Like, how would it be that you're an evil company trying to take over the world, and there's these good people as like trying to stop you? Like, I feel like that would be a fun campaign to run.
I feel like we're in the right, though. I don't know why they're so upset with us.
It's great. It's great.
The government's a noble cause.
We're trying to bring people together here, guys. Like, that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, hey, Aaron showed up. So he does watch the show on occasion. Question for Arthur: what is your favorite snack? That's an odd question.
Wait, so actual Arthur, or are you asking me? Like, are you
Question for Arthur: what is your favorite snack?
I mean, I am the snack. So, like, why would I? Can I name myself? Can I say Arthur is his favorite snack because he is the snack?
I don't know how that works. Food.
I know. For Arthur, I mean, we haven't really delved into like what like cuisines and things are.
Hot Pockets.
But if I'm going to reference the D&D cooking book, green spears would definitely be top of the list for Arthur.
I'm gonna guess that's asparagus.
Asparagus wrapped in bacon. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a giant idiot.
That cookbook is actually really good. If you never had an opportunity to go look at that cookbook that came out like a year and a half ago, it's quality. There's some good stuff out of there.
On to another question I've set up for you. How do you pronounce serpentine?
Serpentine.
Okay.
it's serpentine. Like a serpentine belt or like a serpentine maneuver, not serpentine. I don't know why.
Serpentine?
Like,
I'm just throwing some out there of possible ways that someone could have possibly pronounced it differently.
Serpentine?
Serpentine. Okay.
It's serpentine.
Sure, it's serpentine.
I'm positive it's serpentine. That's my old character from GC1.
Throwing some shade out there at the DM for trying to sneak a name past us.
Listen, he has different ways of pronouncing words and names.
All about the emphasis, I know.
It's definitely, yes. Because I can't tell you how many times in the Discord there are multiple attempts to try to spell how he pronounces certain names or cities or words.
Oh, it's a fun game.
I think historically 2 people have gotten them correct. And I think Volred or Rab guessed one of the names correctly, And I think, honestly, I think it was you that guessed one of the
I think
other.
I got one. That was so
And
shocked.
there was two situations that's all in just this campaign. I don't think I've ever guessed spelling of like cities or names or anything in any other campaign that Eric has had.
Because you kind of think of it in a different way. You don't spell it like someone's name is John. It's like, okay, well, it's not John. How could this be changed differently? There's got to be some apostrophes in there. Like
Or it's got to be
W.
like J-H.
It's both a G, probably.
W-N, John. You know, like we have to find different ways to try to
J-G-O-W-A, like A-W-N, John. So fuck.
We didn't even get that right.
Eric with J-H-N. Fuck.
Stupid.
Got a silent Q in there. Like, God damn it. Got that what is it? The middle part. It's not the dash. Hyphen. Silent hyphen.
A hyphen is always silent.
Silent hyphen. You don't spell it out that way.
It's like a silent.
It's J-A silent hyphen H-N.
Unless you count it as dash, which I've had a Ladasha. I have genuinely had a Ladasha come in when I worked at a place. Yeah, it was definitely. I was a CS service representative at a car dealership, and this lady came in and spelled her name Ladasha, and I thought it was La.
Sounds like it's some type of fake customer to catch you.
No, it was a real person. She had to give her driver's license later for verification for a state inspection. So,
what is it? Gion you put in the chat, Eric? What the hell is this? That's not.
That's John. No,
that's Gion. I'm gonna call it. Put that in the chat during a campaign. They're Gion every time I talk to them.
Absolutely. No,
Neon Genesis, Evon Gion, Angelican. On to another question. With the potential of the party currently meeting up with Serpentine, how do you think Serpentine would react to the current party, and what are his thought processes on each of the party members? Potentially. Your thoughts about it. We know that Eric will be RPing
completely retcon how my character would probably react to a lot of these situations. But Serpentine absolutely would not like this party. Like with no hesitation, no doubt in my mind. He didn't like the party that he was with half the time. And he is incredibly protective of his city. And so I don't think he would take kindly to the party. The people he would probably be apt to listening to or even entertain conversation with would probably be Calum. And I would say Arthur, just for the fact that by the time we get there, he would probably have learned more about being a druid than where he is now. But if we're talking right now, the only person that Serpentine would probably entertain conversations with is Caleb. Izal would not make it into the forest surrounding.
I'm not a mean
surrounding the city.
It's like a magic spell banning all zealous.
Like all zealous, just zealous in general. You just cannot pass a certain threshold.
I haven't done anything.
Why is that rude though, Jace? Why is that rude?
Blaming a character for their family's past is very rude.
But what was the family's past that might have
cut down some trees
and burn down the forest? Like
prevent forest fires. You fight fire with fire. Everyone knows this. So, firemen in the chat. That's how you fight fires, right? More fire?
That's funny. But yeah, I would say the only person that Serpentine may even entertain a conversation with is Calum. Now, there's a chance that he would entertain a conversation with Red. And that's under the assumption that Red is an elf because of his elven accuracy.
He's a robot.
He's a robot, but just has the niche.
He's got aim assist.
So technically, those would be the two people that he would entertain right now. as we go into different and start leveling and start getting a little more into our character development, there's potential for other people to be able to have that conversation and go into
Does the fact that Caleb and Arthur are both humans play into the fact that Serpentine might think, oh, I better not blink for too long, they'll be dead soon?
Oh, absolutely, because they have the lifespan of an insect to Serpentine at this point. I think it would be, you would spend more time trying to get to the kingdom than you would necessarily have time on this earth if he's not willing to even have that conversation with you.
No, that's about what I thought what it would be, is that he's all stands 0 chance.
Oh, absolutely not. Not as a Zella. No, absolutely not.
Axel's an asshole. I know. I am aware.
I know more about him than you do.
I've read the stories, and I can understand why. He's a prick. But we don't support him either. Okay, on to another little game that I had set up for you. I'm going to list off. I'm going to need you to minimize your D&D Beyond for a brief
Minimize
moment.
my D&D Beyond?
Don't pull it up. I don't want you to see it.
That's offensive. Okay.
Don't take a look at it. Just minimize it.
I'm minimizing it. I have to get to it to minimize it. Okay.
All right. Just don't want you to risk possibly looking it up. I'm going to list off a few magic items.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
And these are specific magic items that
I'm not good at this.
you are quite familiar with, as they are items that your characters have had. Now, I will help you out by saying none of these are homebrew, so they are official Dungeons & Dragons magic items. I'm going to list off the names of them, and I would like you to tell me, 1, what is their rarity?
Oh, God. I'm not good at this. Okay.
2, what do they do? And I have an additional question at the end of this. I will give you a hint. They are all different rarity, except for 2 of them.
I'm stressed.
Hat of Disguise, Robe of Eyes, Staff of Power, Sphere of Annihilation, Hat of Wizardry, Amulet of the Drunkard.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have no idea what the Hat of Wizardry does. I think I may have put it on one time and just happened to pick it up. So I have no idea what that is. So I already really failed that one. So, okay.
Start from common to higher, if you would. I feel it would be easier. Which do you think is the most common one, and go higher from there?
Okay, you're going to have to name them again.
Hat of Disguise, Robe of Eyes, Staff of Power, Sphere of Annihilation, Hat of Wizardry, Amulet of the Drunkard. Eric, you are not allowed to answer. No one else in the chat is allowed to answer as well.
Okay, so...
Wait for him to answer first.
I'm going to say Hat of Wizardry is the lowest
So you would
rarity?
say it's common. That's what you'd say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Amulet of the Drunkard is the next one, uncommon.
Okay.
I know the Sphere of Annihilation is the highest one, so I'm not going to. That's the last
You're
one.
going to put it at the very end of it.
Yeah, Staff of Power is right below the Sphere of Annihilation. The Robe of Eyes,
I'll list off the names of the rarities if you'd like. There's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary.
Yeah, so Staff of Power is very rare.
Okay.
Sphere of Annihilation is legendary. I honestly I'm torn. I know the Amulet of the Drunkard is green, so that means that's uncommon. And the Robe of Eyes, I really want to say, is that blue? I'm trying to remember
We
off
have
the
the
top
Hat
of
of
my head.
Disguise and the Robe of Eyes remaining.
What did I put as common? That Hat of Wizardry? I feel like the Robe of Eyes falls into that very rare spectrum with the Staff of Power. For some reason, like when I think about it, I think it's blue, and not blue, I think it's purple. Because I'm trying to remember what Anaya's character sheet looks like. Not Anaya.
Fanara.
Yeah. Because Fanara is the one that had the Robe of Eyes. Okay, so the
So
last
you're
one
saying
that I have.
there's 2 very rare, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying there's 2 purple, which is very rare.
Okay.
And then I'm missing the rare one, which was the. I don't think the Hat of Disguise is rare though. I'm gonna put the Hat of Disguise as rare because I still think the Hat of Wizardry is common.
Okay, so you've ordered these: Hat of Wizardry, Amulet of the Drunkard, Hat of Disguise, Robe of Eyes, and Staff of Power, and then Sphere of Annihilation. That is technically the correct order.
Okay, but not. There must have been like 2 rares instead of 2 very rares.
Hat of Wizardry is common. Amulet of Drunkard, uncommon. Hat of Disguise, also uncommon.
Okay.
Robe of Eyes, rare. Staff of Power, very rare. And Sphere of Annihilation, legendary.
Okay.
Can you tell me a brief blurb of what these items do?
Sphere of Annihilation is a black sphere that you can toss in a general direction. It can be controlled by an intelligence save. If you pass a certain intelligence save, you're able to move it a certain amount of space. I don't know what space, how long that is. And anything that exists inside of the space that the Sphere of Annihilation takes necrotic damage. I don't know if it's completely destroyed. That's the caveat there. I don't know if it just destroys it or if it takes a certain amount of damage. The Staff of Power is there's multitude of people who can use it. I think it's Wizard, Sorcerer, Bard can use the Staff of Power.
I believe Warlock is also in there.
It gives you a list of, I don't know if it's like 6 or 7 spells, but it has 20 charges. It regains a certain amount of charges at the end of the day, which I think is a D8 plus something. I know that it has Wall of Force. I know it has a certain amount of spells. I don't know which spells there are, so I can't list off the spells.
Well, you've used Wall of Force before.
I have definitely used Wall of Force before. But yeah, so and then it also, I believe, increases your spell attack? I told you I'm really bad at this. I know when I see the item, I know how to use it in battle, and I know what it does with the character, but I don't remember off the top of my head. The Robe of Eyes, I'm going to move down, because that's the next one, right?
Yes.
Okay, Robe of Eyes gives the user dark vision, and then I think you can't be surprised while you have it on, but it inhibits you because if there's bright light, you become blinded. I use that for Nara because she doesn't have dark vision, and I needed that specifically for the dark vision. But it was really bad because we had a lot of people who used bright spells or some flashes of light and always had light around. There's probably something else that thing does, but that's what I used it for. The next one is the Hat of Disguise.
Yes.
I think I used that maybe one time. I would imagine Hat of Disguise functions and allows you to cast Disguise Self on yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
As I don't know if it's a charge base. I'm pretty sure it's charge base, but you're allowed to use Disguise Self on yourself. The next one is Amulet of the Drunkard. Artie has this one. It's at one point when you consume alcohol, you can utilize a charge on the amulet to heal, I think 1d6 plus something. Or is it 2d4? It's almost like a healing potion. Basically, if you drink, you get a healing potion.
Yeah, it's a
2d4
healing drunky thingy.
Yes. And then the Hat of Wizard. I already told you I don't know what that does.
The Hat of Wizardry was on Fanara, and you never used it. You just had it. It was just a hat. It's like the Dark Shard Amulet for Nock, only wizard. You make an Arcana check to use any wizard cantrip.
Okay, I did better at that than I thought I would, but I still did bad because I don't remember half this stuff.
Yeah, I could. This is the kind of the easier mode of it because I picked things your characters have had or used. I could have just went random and just picked stuff. I was like, I'll pick something at least the characters had or homebrew shit. I don't remember homebrew shit because I put all kinds of rarities in that stuff. Like,
it depends. Yeah, I say it depends on the homebrew item. Like again, if it's something that one of my characters have used, I can remember some of the general. But like the Hat of Wizardry, I didn't use it. I never used it. Yeah, I am a collector of random items actually.
Well, a couple of those are from most game. So like we had tons of magic items. Like, what does this character have that he's never used?
All of them.
I was going to put Staff of Charming on there.
Oh, wait. Is that the one that Anaya had?
Staff of Charming, technically Nock had briefly.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then it was lost because it just disappeared.
What was the staff that Anaya had that
Rod of Rulership.
Rod of Rulership, there you go. Cool.
But I also didn't want to pick multiples of the same rarity, so I chose different ones. I was like, oh, well, one of these will be a duplicate. That way it'll maybe throw you off. Which it worked. It worked. There's a duplicate somewhere here.
It's in there somewhere.
I don't... Silviril Vaxildor? What the fuck is that word?
The name sounds familiar.
Oh, that was the enchantment wizard or transmutation wizard that we went into their fucking dungeon. The anti-magic dungeon. You found the Staff of Charming in his thing. And never added it to your character sheet. It was like...
It's in a bag of holding there somewhere.
Well, it's probably another dimension now.
Yep, that's the thing.
Gone forever. The other option, like, I was going to put Flame Tongue Rapier in there. I was like, it's a bit on the nose. I want to pick that one. Pick a different one.
Hey.
Oh.
Not going to fight for that for a couple of times. So, yeah, I remember that one.
On to another question. The Legend of Vox Machina has came out last week, and as someone who we both have seen it, and I didn't finish Campaign 1 because it's very long, and I don't have time for that, and you never watched any of Campaign 1. So, a couple of questions I have for you. For one, have you enjoyed the first 3 episodes?
Yes, actually. It's actually really interesting because I feel like it's done incredibly well. They're all voice actors in the first place, so like I knew like once they were playing their characters, I was like, oh, okay.
The most common thing you hear is like the voice acting is great. Well, they're all voice actors.
They're literally all voice actors. But the animation style is incredibly intuitive as well, and it's very well put together. I don't know the storyline very well. I don't know the storyline at all. Let's correct myself. I don't know the storyline at all. So as somebody who is getting to view it from like a fresh set of eyes, has no idea where it's going to go or what's happening, it's definitely been very entertaining, and I'm excited to watch the next couple episodes.
Do you think it's an accurate portrayal of a D&D campaign? Could you kind of follow? It's like, oh, in D&D terms, like I understand what's going on here, what the table's probably happening in the situation.
Yes and no. There's a lot of fuckery that's happening in a lot of the first couple of episodes, and I can see where at some point or another the table probably derailed and just went on their own little tangent. And so do I think it's accurate in that state? I think that there are a lot of just random tidbits that were thrown in there that could have come from a live tabletop game that wouldn't necessarily just be in an animated series. So from that aspect, I do see a lot of situations where there's just a lot of crazy off-the-wall antics that happened at the table. I do think it's been consolidated a lot, which to streamline it a lot more. So I don't think it's incredibly accurate to the table, but I think that they did a very good job adapting it from what I could tell.
Another question is, can you name the classes of all the characters?
You're going to have to say their names because I'm still new to this.
Grog?
Watched it. Grog is a barbarian.
Do you know what subclass?
No.
Berserker Barbarian.
Okay, that makes sense.
Pike.
Pike, is Pike the little
gnome?
Little gnome. Well, there's a. Isn't are they both gnomes?
There's 2 gnomes in the party.
Okay, yeah. So Pike is the cleric.
Do you know what subclass? What domain?
I feel like it's not life cleric. It's probably what is it protect? Not protection. What is it called? I don't think it's the life cleric, which is the one that I'm incredibly familiar with.
She is a war domain cleric.
There you go. Well, no, I didn't think it was war, so there you go.
Yeah,
I'm not taking credit for that.
Part of the bit is when she's enhancing other people's stuff. It's when she's using the +10 to their attack. That's where she's enhancing their weaponry for it.
Okay.
That's how they. I like that how they did that. Otherwise, like, let's say she casting holy weapon. They're not high enough level for that shit. Like, oh, +10. Okay.
Yeah, +10.
That hits.
Okay.
Scanlan.
Scanlan is a bard. Probably a bard. I don't think he's a lore bard. He's definitely. Is he an eloquence bard? See, that's tough. We've seen barely any of Scanlan's actual abilities. Like I don't want to say. God, he's definitely the face of the party, but I can't say he's a lore bard. Is he a lore bard? I'm gonna say
a lore bard. Yes, correct.
I'm gonna say lore bard because he's always doing the introductions. He's providing a lot. I'm gonna say definitely lore bard. Go.
He's a lore bard. Percy.
Percy is the guy with the gun, right?
Yes.
I actually don't know what Percy is. Like, I don't think he's an artificer because but he relies on that gun a lot. Is he a gunslinger?
He is a gunslinger.
Yeah, I was correct. He's got to be a gunslinger because then he did that weird, cool, like the weird cloak thing. Sorry, no spoilers. It sounds like he may have there might be some hidden backstory that allowed him to.
Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning! In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't seen campaign 1, he did not multi-class. He took the Magic Initiate feat for Warlock.
Okay, cool.
Because he didn't want to pick Warlock class when he made this character, so he just went Magic Initiate. I'm a fighter. I got plenty of ASIs.
Okay, cool.
Vex.
Vex is the female. Vex is that a ranger? I'm gonna say ranger. She had the weird dragon sense, so it's the one that's related to a dragon hunter or a dragon slayer or something. You can tell I played D&D a long time, but don't know any of the subclasses.
When have you played a ranger?
I've never played a ranger.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I have no idea.
Vex is a ranger. Her subclass is the whichever one has the animal companion. I don't know. I know which one.
Okay, so
all rangers get primeval awareness, which lets you search for dragons and all those things. So
yeah. The last one, Vax, is the rogue.
How could you tell? You've never played a rogue before in your life.
Shut up. I can't. Some of the abilities that he used were a little off for me, so I don't really know what particular type of rogue he is, because I could see him going assassin, but I can also see him doing arcane trickster. If I'm going off of just like generic viewpoint on 3 episodes, I'm going to say probably arcane trickster.
He was an assassin.
Dang.
Which is a bit hard to come across because he doesn't assassinate anybody.
Yeah, I was like, he doesn't use any real abilities to assassinate anybody at this point. So like, it's 3 episodes in, so I have no idea. I know he's a rogue, but I don't know.
I'd say the only thing that might even seem like magic is when his belt turns into a snake. But
and
that's a magic item that he actually has.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was hanging on to. I was like, maybe he used that.
You got all the space classes down. That's good. So that's pretty impressive. Subclasses are a bit hard because it's harder for them to like portray what they are, except for Percy being a gunslinger. But gunslinger's not an official class. So.
We're 3 episodes in. Like we haven't seen a lot of their capabilities and abilities yet.
Okay. Well, that was it for the Vox Machina questions I want to put out there. Next episode airs tomorrow.
Yes.
Or tonight. I don't remember. It happened at some point. On to the next question. 2 truths, 1 lie. I gave you the forewarning beforehand. That way you could possibly come up with something. Which, who knows if you did? Who knows if you didn't? In the chat, Bevo says the next 3 are up.
Oh, well, I will probably binge those tomorrow since we're still having bad weather. I will probably just stay home and watch those all day tomorrow. Okay, 2 truths and a lie for Arthur. I wrote these down so you can see me look over here for a second because I'm just going to say them all out so there was no lapse in time and no time for you to really think outside of it. So, number 1, he is related in some way to a powerful druid named Calypso. Number 2, his fight or flight response has caused him to not be accepted or kicked out of every long-term establishment that he's been at. Number 3, he does not identify as a pirate, but he himself has made an impact and a name for himself in the pirate networks of Thoria.
Ooh, those are pretty good. So we have relative of Calypso, potentially. Fight or flight has gotten your ass kicked out of a lot of organizations. And you're a pirate?
He has a lot of pirate connections. But is not a pirate.
Okay. Those are interesting. I don't really know because they all seem like they could be a thing again. Like we don't know much about Silverleaf. What if Silverleaf is a pirate? Well, a former pirate. He just turned good.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Try to give you some good ones so people can keep guessing.
Well, and then there's the thing with the connection with what Eric said, bringing in the questions from last week that was mentioned beforehand. Question: at least 1 week has passed since the ominous truth, 2 truth, 1 lie from the DM. What do you think are the possibilities of someone following the group? Like,
I said this last episode. I fully expect us to be followed all the time. Like I don't like the possibilities of somebody following our group is incredibly high to like 100% because we do stupid shit. We also get involved in very stupid things. And then we literally just made a forced contract with some spy network. And so at some point or another, we're going to be followed, regardless of who or what we're doing. So I think that is incredibly likely or 100%.
Okay, so if you think that one's highly likely, out of the other 2 options of connections to the big bad evil guy or someone in the party has ill will towards the rest of the party, which of the other 2 do you think is the truth?
Do I think it's the truth?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think someone in the party having ill will towards another person in the party is incredibly likely. We've gotten a lot of glimpses of like negative aspects to certain people in the group. Gorbek.
Not me, I'm positive. I'm a lovely individual.
Yeah, okay. Gorbek doing more shadowy, purpley thing. And then Caleb with his book that I fully believe is going to possess him. So, I mean, that kind of puts a wrench in it because it could just be that that's the tie to the BBEG. But I think it is likely that somebody in the group has ill will towards another person in the group.
So you don't think there's someone who has a tie-in with a big bad evil guy? A BBEG?
Because there's multiple. That's the hard part. It's like, I don't know.
It's vague enough to where it could be possible by happenstance.
Like, literally everybody could have a connection or some tie-in to a BBEG at some point or another. You could have made a tie-in to a BBEG by pissing somebody off by causing rumors. Like, everybody could possibly have that. So I don't know. I feel like that's
my family has a history of dumb decisions, so it's very possible.
I feel like that's so broad. So that, like, I don't think that would be the allocated truth. I think that would be something that Eric probably just threw out there. But it's so broad that you never know like if it's actually true or not. I feel like somebody having ill will towards somebody else in the party is very specific. So I would say that's probably the one I would go towards, and then somebody having a connection is just too broad for me to.
I think the following wing's too obvious, and I don't think it's true. He wants that so we can be constantly on the lookout and then have no one there for just haha.
I mean, we've been proven wrong on that already. Somebody has followed us already.
No one followed us.
The person who did the deal, who saved Gorbek's life and got him out of jail and all that
I don't
stuff.
know if we were being followed.
He had to have followed us because if shit stirring. Yes, I'm curious.
Yes.
Stirring. He had to have followed us because, like, if we didn't get on the boat, he would have tracked us down in a different area or a different method. So that to me is following. So I just feel like now that we're a part of this crime syndicate, that we're constantly going to be followed or we're constantly going to be looked after. That's the reason why I said that.
All right. So assuming that we do this quest, we get it done, and we're successful, is there anything that you could possibly want out of the crime syndicate? Because we have access to their information in their underground network. Is there something that you could possibly ask them about? Like, hey, can you hook us up?
Arthur or me? Because Arthur, no.
Arthur's
too flase-da to really give a shit, to be honest.
You've got those pirate connections. You don't need any help.
Yeah, casual. I've already got my own crime syndicate going around somewhere. But yeah, Arthur genuinely just wants to survive.
What about you then? What does Ari?
There is a multitude of things that we could get ourselves into. Like secret passageways into kingdoms. Particularly, is there any secret passageway into Tybel Say? That's something that immediately comes up. What networks do they actually have with this crime syndicate? Like, is this something where they've got politicians, all of these like political pool? Do you have pirates and things like that in your network? Like, how big is this crime network? And then where can we take advantage of it? And then the last thing I would say is like, what's your net worth? Like, can I milk this for like a good 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 gold? Like, what are we doing here? Like, how do we get up in the ranks of this to make it beneficial for us?
My first thought is, what if we do like a house that we don't have to like pay? I'm very simple. I like a nice house.
I'm glad you think that way, because I would have not. We would have just been all over the place trying to track down certain pieces of information.
Several houses.
Several houses.
Real estate. That's what we're all about.
Summer home in Summerness.
Away from this fucking magic weather. That's what I want.
The magic weather is not that bad.
That's because Eric's forgotten about it.
That is also true. He actually didn't forget about it. He has talked about the storm being like lingering on the edge of like wherever we've been. He hasn't forgot about it. I just think it's not as prevalent right
Fuck
now.
you, Aaron. It's not that bad.
Yeah, he's mentioned it every time we've gotten on a boat.
Yeah.
There's the storm, whatever weather it is, and then I can't predict the weather through my orb, which is annoying. So it is what it is.
Oh, we are nearing the end of it. We'll go ahead and do the who do you think is highest on the Deadpool. We'll go that one real quick. Come on.
I mean, like, not counting Gorbek, or
I feel like as long as you're not Eric or Gorbek yourself, you can't vote for Gorbek. Anyone else can, but not those two.
I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to say you as all.
I was gonna say I'm putting myself higher up on those things because like we're getting to that point where now magic's an issue. Like I can resist physical damage.
Yeah.
And I am in a swarm usually.
Hold on, Eric is getting crazy in the chat. This is a safe space
zone. We can say all the shit we want.
He can say whatever he wants to say, and you cannot target him on Tuesday.
Piss off, Eric.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm gonna say Izal, and then Arthur very close behind.
I feel like the melee character is gonna be in a lot of trouble coming up. So.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to that tale old time where like barbarians and
Monks.
do not have longevity in Eric's campaigns.
Short lifespans.
So I feel like you're probably going to be the first one, because it takes one good wallop for you.
It takes me getting hit before I rage.
Before you rage, and then it's just like curtains, because we have nothing else to really stand in the way besides me, and I'm trying to heal. So
very accurate. This one's like, man, it's getting real dangerous for me sometimes. I got twice as many hit points as everybody else, and resistance doesn't help if you're not raging.
And just because Tater's not here, but I know he would ask me to do
I'm going to ask you, roll that D percentile, please, and I will look up what it rolls on the magic surge.
Ooh,
I have it pulled
13.
up. 13.
If I was a cleric and I was level 13, that would work.
That's right. Unfortunately, you just cast confusion centered on yourself. So you will be doing random shit until you make the save. Congratulations.
That's fine.
Didn't even know that spell. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh,
your bard knows that spell.
I'm going to say my bard knows it. Artemis knows it, but Arthur definitely does not.
Confusion. Well, thank you for showing up. It was really fun. Glad your power got all taken care of. You got that cheer going on. Stay warm. You know, it's going to get colder. It's going to be a real shit show tomorrow as well. And now we have the Legend of Vox Machina to keep us entertained. I'm going to do that tonight. I don't have patience for that shit. I'm going to watch it now. I won't watch it again. I don't rewatch shit. Let me look at the chat. Pull up my thing. Where'd it go? I have an outro that I can't remember.
Oh no. Something about this. Thank you for watching this shitty show.
Yeah, my shitty one. Where is it? I should have it highlighted. I'm a moron.
You should.
Where is it? God, that's so dumb. I want to. Nope, that's not it. There we go. I found it. Now I feel better.
I'm going to start making something up.
Okay, you do yours and I'll do mine.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. If there's anything you would like to know, just come on in on Thursday to see this shitty show. This is Adjacent with Jace, and this is Jace over here and Arthur over here. If you have any fear, no longer will it be hereby.
Not just rhyme here 4 times with itself.
I did. Here. There's different types of heres.
No, they were all the H-E-R-E.
I know, but I didn't want you to point that out, so that's okay.
Sir, okay. Well, thank you all for coming. I really have to go. I hope you liked watching this really crappy show. Like, follow, subscribe is what I'm supposed to say. And as always, see you next Tuesday. Good night, everyone. Mwah. Mwah. Here.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wander, louder